For day 2 of substitution, we're just going to use the scavenger hunt. For those of you who are in person and watching this because you are absent, you can use this sheet right here. For those of you online, we're just going to be using a plain piece of paper. So get out a piece of paper right now, and I'm going to show you, it's in the Schoology folder for today for substitution day 2. We're just going to use some of the problems on there. So if you go out to Schoology, you'll see this where it says Systems by Substitution Scavenger Hunt. And what you can do is you can just go on here. Now the problem that will show up, okay, we'll get the answer to this, and then we'll go through and find where that answer is, and that will tell us the next problem to do. So the first problem we're going to do, write this one down on your piece of paper. Negative x plus 2y is equal to 4, and 5x minus 3y is equal to 1. So we're going to solve this by substitution. Now to solve this by substitution, remember our first rule is get a variable by itself. Doesn't matter if it's x or y, but get a variable by itself. So look at all your variables, and you want to look for the variable that has a coefficient of 1. Here's negative 1, 2, 5, and 3. So this is going to be our easiest one. We're going to take that one and get that x by itself. So I'm just going to rewrite it. Negative x plus 2y is equal to 4. Move the 2y. Negative x is equal to negative 2y plus 4. And now I'm just going to change my signs all the way across. I'm mathematically multiplying through by a negative 1 or dividing through by a negative 1. But what it shows up as is you just change the sign of everything. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug this into this equation. So in place of x, I'm going to plug that in. So what I like to do is write the equation, and what I'm plugging in for, I make a parentheses, and then I'm going to plug in for that variable. So 2y minus 4. Now you're just solving an equation, which is great because you can practice solving equations. Never can get too much practice as that. So pause your video and go ahead and do that. Okay, pause your video and solve this equation. Go. And hopefully you got y is equal to 3. If you didn't, pause your video right now and watch and look over my work and see maybe what happened. Okay, now we have y, we have to get x. We can plug this y value into our original equations. We can also plug it into this simple one right over here, which is what I'm going to do because it takes a little less work. So I'm going to plug in x is equal to 2 times y, which is 3. We just found that out. We get 6 minus 4, and we get 2. So we have our answer is 2, 3. Now, we can go out to that scavenger hunt. We are going to and find that. Remember, we can take this and plug it into both of our equations if we want to and see if it is correct. If I were taking a quiz or a test, I would do that just to make sure my work is right. So you can do that. Okay, let's go back out to the scavenger hunt and find the next problem. So we're now going to go through the slides and find our next problem by finding the point 2, 3. Watch up in that top left-hand corner. There it is, 2, 3. So now that tells us this is our next problem. So copy that problem down onto your piece of paper. 2x minus 8y is equal to 8, and 8x minus 5y is equal to 5. Okay? Do we have that copied down? If you want to, go ahead and get started. Now for this one, it's a little more challenging because notice none of our coefficients are 1. So we're going to have to solve for one of these variables. There's a good chance we're going to get a fraction. Now the nice part of this is that no matter what I divide by here, I can get a terminating decimal. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my different coefficients and saying, hey, if I divide by 2, will I get a decimal that terminates? Will it ends? Yes. 8, yes. 8, 5, yes. So on this one, it doesn't really make any difference. We're just going to choose one. I like to divide by 2 more than anything else, so I'm going to solve for this x right here. So the way I decided it, okay, I can choose any of them, and I would love to have you do this totally on your own and choosing whatever you want. I'm going to solve for that x because I know when I do, I'm going to divide by 2. This would have been another good one. Dividing by 5 is pretty nice too. So luckily, all of these work out unlike some of the other ones. So we're going to take that equation. 2x minus 8y is equal to 8, and I'm going to solve for x is what I'm going to do. Okay, so if you want to pause your video and do that on your own, that's great. Now this one turned out nice too. This one just totally came out. We didn't even have to worry about decimals. So that's another reason too. Always look for a coefficient of 2 because it's going to probably work itself out or at least be a decent decimal. Okay, we have this information. We're going to plug it in for that one. I would love it if you would pause your video right now and try it totally on your own to find out what y is equal to. We're going to take this and plug it in and find y. Okay, so I would encourage you to pause your video right now and go ahead and do that. So hopefully you paused your video and you plugged it in, and when you plugged it in, it would have looked like this. And then you would have multiplied and got an equation that looked like this. And then when you solved it, you came up with y is equal to -1. We now know what y is. Now you need to find out x. Pause your video once again. Do it on your own. Go. Now remember, you can take that y, it's equal to -1. I could plug it into these two equations. I, of course, plugged it into the easier one. Well, not easier. It just takes a little less time, and for my mind, it works a little better. I came up with that my answer was x is equal to 0. So my ordered pair, my solution, is 0, -1. That is my solution. So if I would graph these two lines, this is where they would intersect. Okay, let's go see if let's go find our next problem, find that answer, and find our next problem. Okay, so our answer is 0, 1. Notice I'm on slide 9. I'm going to go back and find 0, -1. There it is. Oh, and this one's a nice one. Okay, so 0, -1 is our answer. Try this problem on your own. Write that down on a piece of paper. Try it. It's already got one of the variables solved for. Go ahead and do that one. It might be a good idea. Write that. X equals -3y minus 2. So pause your video right now and write that down. And then we'll go and solve it. So hopefully you went out and solved that. But if you want to see my work, I'll show you my work right here. So of course, it already had x solved for, so all I had to do was take that and plug it in for x. Then I solved my equation, and I got y was equal to 0. I then plugged it back in. I got x was equal to -2. So let's go and find that answer and find our next problem. Now, not all the problems are going to come up that you are going to plug in for x. That's just kind of been a fluke. And had we been doing these in the classroom, which was what the original plan was before all the COVID and all online and everything, these would have been throughout the room, and so you wouldn't have just started with one or the other. Okay, let's find that answer. -2, 0. Where is it? Up, got to go the other way. -2, 0. There it is. Okay, so this is your next one. Oh, this is a fun one. We'll try this one, and then I'll let you just work the rest of them on your own. So write this problem down. Y equals x plus 5, and y equals 2x minus 7. Go. Try it. Hopefully you've had a chance to try this one, but I'm just going to, we haven't seen one of these on today. So remember, this tells me what y is equal to. I can plug it directly in there. So it becomes x plus 5 is equal to 2x minus 7. And then we just solve this equation. Okay? And I know some of you have already finished it. If you haven't, pause yours, do it on your own. I got x was equal to 12. Okay, that's our x. Go find your y. And again, if you really want to see if you're getting these, pause yours and try it all on your own. Go. Okay, so if you're coming back, hopefully you got the answer is 1217. Let's go find that one. Okay, 1217. Whoops, went the wrong way. Not down there. 1217. There it is. Oh, there's a good one. You might want to try that on your own. Okay, so we've already tried 4 and there's only 8. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is you try the rest of these on your own. You've seen how to do it. This slide, this right here that I'm talking about is out on your Schoology. I'm going to go back one place so you can see where I got this. Okay, see right there, you can just click on that and you can keep going from there. Okay, if you have questions, you know where to find us. Thank you very much.